Hi, welcome back to the Nourishing Routes channel, where I'll be showing you how to love food, adore your body and become your authentic self. In this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about taking time out for ourselves, especially in eating disorder recovery. But before we get going with that, I'd like to just be open and honest with you and say that I was once the world's worst for taking time out for myself. In fact, I don't know about you, but can you resonate with the feeling that sometimes we think we always need to be doing something, achieving something, and taking time out for just ourselves, for a hobby, or just pure relaxation makes you feel guilty, anxious, on edge, and as though you need to be actively running away and making yourself productive. But in all honesty, those feelings that I had and experiences of staying up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning to finish assignments, get things done and exercise really rigidly, those things weren't making me happy. Also, by pushing myself into the ground, as many people with eating disorders do on a regular basis, as I'm sure you'll know, it made me really unwell. So, for example, at university I would feel really drained because I was doing things all the time, and to be honest, it was a massive distraction on my productivity levels because I didn't want to face my eating disorder and the problems in my life. I suppressed them down by actually just spending more time doing things rather than taking time out for myself. But when did things change, and how can taking time out for yourself help you too? Well, obviously I came to a point at some time that this wasn't working. Doing and not taking time out for myself to focus on my real recovery needs and what I really wanted to do was obviously having a massive burden on my mental and physical health. And I kind of had a bit of a mental breakdown really, and decided that after a close family member had passed away that I needed to take some real time out for some genuine self-care and to break away from always trying to do things and trying to feel, as though my life was worth something just by the grades that I was achieving on a piece of paper. And I decided that actually I was going to remove myself from university for a little while. And I know for many of you who currently go to university or study in different educational places, that can be a really tough decision. It's a really tough decision because on one hand, you might think, oh, I've already got this far into my course, I can't stop now. Or even if you're in a job, you might feel like I can't stop now because other people depend on me, and if I leave, people will judge me. But I can tell you now that none of those judgments and your own judgments on yourself matter, because the real need that you need to take care of is that self-care need, and taking time out for yourself away from all those obligations is, probably exactly what you need. Even if it isn't taking time out from university or the workplace, then simply spending a full day on yourself and not having to do all your agenda lists and trying to get them perfect and have this massive tick list box that you complete to perfection. You could literally just spend a day in nature. You could take time out to sit in your favourite cafe, go out with a friend. And I know at first it might feel as though, a really bit strange because you're used to always doing things or you're always on the go. But, you will get used to the feeling of just being able to relax. And now I'm at a stage in my recovery journey where I can take a full day out for myself and not feel guilty or ashamed as though I need to be working 100 miles an hour. And in fact, the days that I actually take time out for myself, I actually feel better in terms of my energy levels, my productivity levels, because I know the next day when I have other things to do that I've already re-energized myself by, for example, expressing my creativity in a certain way, drinking endless amounts of tea or doing some baking. And those aren't the things that society says we should be doing. But to tell you the truth, I think they are, because I think of life and our energy as like a cup. And if you're constantly draining and pouring energy out of that cup, i.e. the tea inside or the coffee inside, you're going to have none of that energy or lovely coffee and tea left for yourself. But if you spend more time for yourself and take time out, then you're going to have much more time to pour that lovely coffee and tea energy back into the cup. And once the cup's full, then there really is no limitation on things that you can do. You can use that extra energy to do other things that you enjoy, or you could use that energy to help other people, which is also massively beneficial. And now in my own life, because I have so much energy all the time, because I take time out for myself, I feel more engaged with the community. I feel like I'm able to do what I want to do with Nourishing Roots, spread my message, and actually live the lifestyle of Nourishing Roots, which again is all about taking time out for yourself, engaging in the art of self-compassionate living, and actually learning to love yourself and just be at peace with yourself now. I can guarantee you that if you do take time out for yourself more, that you won't end up feeling lazy and guilty, or society won't look at you in a bad way, even if it means breaking away from university and work for a while. In the long run, you'll be more productive and you'll develop a much more compassionate relationship with yourself and learn to be at peace with yourself forever, which, in all honesty, is one of the best things that you can ever do for your health and well-being. But on a final note of this video, I'd just like to say, if you're struggling out there with needing to take time out for yourself, then I want to give you the hope that you can do that and achieve it without feeling all those guilts and shames and other things that we've just talked about. Because if I can do it, being one of the world's worst for perfectionism and stress and trying to get things done, then I'm absolutely 100% positive that you can do it too. So finally, at the end of this video, I'd like to say have a great week. If you've enjoyed what I've spoke about, then please subscribe to the channel, like the video, or comment below on some of your experiences around struggling with taking time out for yourself, or even benefiting from taking time out for yourself. You can also find out much more about the Nourishing Roots philosophy on my website at www.nourishingroots.com. Or also you can grab a copy of my brand new book, which is now on my website, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, as well as other bookstores that you can get online. So on that note, I'll whip this video up saying goodbye, have a great week, and we'll definitely speak about more interesting topics about eating disorders and loving yourself from the inside out very soon. Bye bye!